In the heart of Minneapolis, a young woman named Jenna was searching for a fresh start. After losing her job at a local diner, she found herself struggling to make ends meet. One evening, while scrolling through job listings, she stumbled upon a position that seemed perfect: a night security guard for a local mall. It promised a decent paycheck and the chance to work independently, which appealed to her introverted nature. Excited at the prospect, Jenna quickly applied and was surprised when she received a call for an interview the very next day. The interview was brief but oddly formal, conducted by a stern-looking man in a dark suit. He barely smiled and asked her a series of questions about her previous experience with security work. Despite his demeanor, Jenna left feeling optimistic. The job was hers, and she was thrilled to start that very night at 11 p.m. As she prepared for her first shift, Jenna felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. She donned her security uniform, which felt slightly stiff but made her feel official. In her small apartment, she carefully packed a few snacks and a book to pass the time during her quiet nights, totally unaware of the peculiarities that awaited her. When Jenna arrived at the mall, she was surprised to find it eerily quiet. The fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting an unsettling glow on the deserted corridors lined with shuttered storefronts. As she walked through the entrance, she noticed the mall had a strange energy, almost as if it were holding its breath. The air was thick with dust, and a faint smell of burnt wood lingered, but she dismissed it as part of the mall's old charm. As she began her rounds, Jenna couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The mall felt like a time capsule, frozen in a moment long gone. She passed by a row of mannequins dressed in outdated fashion, their glassy eyes staring blankly into the void. It was as if they were trapped in the past, just like the mall itself. Yet, Jenna pushed her unease aside, reminding herself that her job was to keep watch and report any suspicious activities. Hours passed uneventfully, but as the clock struck midnight, Jenna decided to take a break. She pulled out her phone and began scrolling through social media. Curiosity got the better of her, and she typed the name of the mall into a search engine. What she found sent a chill down her spine. The mall had burned down in 1994, nearly 30 years ago. Confused and a little frightened, she double-checked the date. The fire had been devastating, claiming lives and leaving nothing but ashes and memories. Determined to find answers, Jenna decided to confront her supervisor when she returned for her next shift. The man who had interviewed her had given her a contact number, so she called the number, only to be met with a voicemail that was surprisingly outdated, as if it had been recorded decades ago. "Thank you for calling the Maplewood Mall security office," the voice said, sounding static-filled and distant. "We are currently closed. Please leave a message after the tone." The unease settled deeper in her stomach, but she pushed through, clocking in for her next shift. As she walked through the mall, the familiar flickering lights and the burnt mannequins seemed to loom larger. Jenna tried to focus on her duties, but her mind raced with questions. Who hired her? Why was she receiving paychecks for a job at a mall that no longer existed? After her shift, she checked her bank account and gasped. The paychecks had been deposited every week since she started. It didn't make sense. She had always been diligent with her finances, and there was no way she could have forgotten about a job that didn't even exist. As she sat there in disbelief, her phone buzzed with a notification. It was another direct deposit alert. She felt a mix of anxiety and intrigue, her heart racing as she realized she was tied to something much deeper than a simple job. With her curiosity piqued, Jenna returned for another shift, determined to get to the bottom of the mystery. This time, she brought a flashlight and a notebook, ready to document everything she encountered. As she walked through the dimly lit halls, she felt an inexplicable pull toward the rear of the mall, where the old food court used to be. As she approached, the temperature dropped dramatically, causing her breath to form clouds in the air. The eerie silence was suddenly broken by a soft, echoing voice that seemed to come from nowhere. "You shouldn't be here," it whispered, sending chills down her spine. Jenna's instinct screamed at her to run, but curiosity held her in place. Gathering her courage, she called out, "Who's there?" To her shock, a figure began to materialize in front of her. It was a translucent ghostly form, wearing the clothes of a mall employee from decades past. "I was trapped here," the apparition said, its voice filled with sorrow. "We all are. The fire took our lives, but our souls are bound to this place. You were drawn here for a reason." Jenna's mind raced as the truth sank in. She was not just a night security guard, she had been chosen to bear witness to the souls trapped in the mall, to help them find peace. The paychecks were a lure, a way to keep her coming back. With each shift, she had been unknowingly stepping into a world where the past and present collided. Filled with resolve, Jenna knew what she had to do. She needed to help these souls find closure. "How can I help you?" she asked, her voice steady despite her fear. The spirit's eyes glimmered with hope. "You must tell our story. Free us from this place." With that, Jenna set out to uncover the history of the mall, collecting stories from old newspapers and local historians. She organized a memorial service, inviting the community to honor those lost in the tragedy. As the candles flickered and the names were spoken, Jenna felt a warmth envelop the space. The spirits, the very souls who had lingered for decades, began to fade away, releasing their hold on the mall. As the last spirit departed, Jenna felt a sense of peace wash over her. The mall, once a haunting reminder of loss, transformed into a place of remembrance. Jenna walked away, knowing she had fulfilled her purpose. The paychecks would no longer come, but in their place, she had gained something far more valuable, the understanding that sometimes, the past needs to be remembered, and the living must honor the dead to truly move forward.